This research is exploring interaction design considerations for trustworthy language-capable robotic wheelchairs in virtual reality, presented by Teresa and Nicholas Woodward. So there's been a lot of previous work in human-robot interactions, in particular looking at language-capable wheelchairs. And what's so interesting about wheelchairs is that wheelchairs can be seen from two different perspectives. The first is as vehicles, where we treat them more as tools to get us from one destination to another, or as companions, where we expect the wheelchair to exhibit some sort of social behaviors. Additionally, wheelchairs in humans have a paired autonomy. So this means they have shared autonomy, where whatever the wheelchair does affects the human, and vice versa. So there's been a lot of previous work with human-robot interactions, human-vehicle interactions, and in particular for this research, there's focus on human and vehicles, as well as how communication plays a part in this interaction. So in particular, there's language generation. In this research, we are looking more at timing of when the language is generated. Additionally, we want to look at the transparency, so how clear the robot is with its intentions to the human. And so we have two examples here. The first is the handcart. In this scenario, Alice is following a language-capable robot. So in this scenario, the robot and Alice have separate autonomies. In the second scenario, the wheelchair scenario, Alice is riding her language-capable wheelchair. So in this scenario, the wheelchair and Alice have a paired autonomy. So again, whatever the wheelchair does affects Alice.
You can see with these two different situations that there are varied trust requirements between humans and language-capable robots. This can be addressed with two different types of explanations. There are proactive explanations, where the explanation is generated before the action is taken, and then there are reactive explanations, where the explanation is generated only upon request. And our experiment tested which one was more effective, and we addressed that in our experiment with 4 different conditions. We have wheelchair proactive, wheelchair reactive, ground robot proactive, and ground robot reactive. So our reasoning for using virtual reality in this experiment is that it allows us to create a very stable and manipulatable testing environment. It allows us to use a virtual wheelchair as opposed to a real wheelchair, which both helps material-wise and also in protecting the safety of the user. We can also freely manipulate variables. We can create water puddles where we need. We can move the robot as we wish through our Wizard of Oz experiment setup. And in this virtual reality environment, we considered different methods of user motion control. The one we decided on is arm swinger, where, as you can see on this previous slide in the bottom right corner, the user can move their arms back and forth, kind of like swinging your arms when you're walking in order to move freely through the environment. And this provided the highest level of immersion and the lowest level of motion sickness. So the general premise of our experiment is that in an office environment, a participant is delivering documents to different rooms. They don't know the layout of this room, so they ask for directions from a robot, either a wheelchair that drives them while they're sitting in it, or a ground robot that leads them through the hallways. For the first 2 documents that they need to deliver, they will follow the same route, as you can see the red and blue lines. But on the third route, the orange line, the robot will take a detour, and this is where we are interested in how the participant reacts, because in the different conditions of our experiment, the robot will either give a proactive or reactive explanation. With this experiment, we are interested in reliability, capability, and trustworthiness in robots. We expect that proactive explanations will increase the above factors, and that there will be more fluctuation in trust for wheelchairs as opposed to the non-vehicular mobile robot, which is the ground robot. We expect that the wheelchair will be perceived as more usable with proactive explanations as well. So the main takeaways from this experiment is 1, that robots with paired autonomy affect trust more, and 2, that proactive explanations are more effective than reactive explanations. My name is Nicholas Woodward, and the other presenter was Teresa Nguyen. Please contact us at our emails if you have any questions, and thank you.